Why they can't have African name? Because they are not identified in that name. They don't know who they are. Our identity was invaded for a long time, for generation to generation. So they can't remember. Esther is my great-mother name. But you remember, it was changed by a colonizer. This is the key to talk about it. So the one who said that, you have to believe them until we teach them, until we educate them.
We've been growing up with these former names. For me personally, as soon as it came to the realization, like, wait a minute, my name is a white name. No matter if I've lived with this name my whole life, as soon as I found that, I cut that name from me straight away. It doesn't make sense, and I removed it straight away. It was a no-brainer. Welcome back to the Rubasha Family Podcast. We're here for another special episode. We have been talking about African names. Reclaim your African identity. What does it mean to reclaim your African identity?
Yeah, so when you say identity, it's mean a huge. It's what you feel what you want to be. See, identity is your name, is your culture, it's what you do, it's what you wish you to do, because it's your biography. That's what it is. Are you want to be dirty or you want to be clean? That is identity you give to yourself. And we don't know that. We thought identity is just name. Of course, it starts with the names, but it's the process, what you do, what you wish to be. It's all your identity. Yes, the way you want to have your life. That is your identity. What profession do you want to have? That is your identity you have in there. And now when we talk about African identity, it's as African, we have been given identity from colonizers. Since colonizer came, say you are poor, you are third world, you are uneducated, many names, you are immigrant. So always they give us the name. You are nigger. So you will look in the history, always we have been given names. You are Christian, you are Muslim, you are Pentecostal. So, and all those titles, where they're coming from foreign. Before colonizer came, we didn't have that title. We were not poor. Africa was not poor. They had life, see? They have culture. They have their own identity. They have their own way to name their name. So if somebody comes and says, okay, your name is not good, and I give you my name, it's meaning take away your identity, because that is superiority. And now you feel inferior straight away, because you feel what my ancestors was giving me this name is not that good. So that is why you take it. So we don't know if we're being forced, or maybe for me I can think we've been manipulated to take the white name.
Marketing is all about storytelling. Dad, when we first started this business, what did you say to me?
I said, yes, we do a podcast.
Why?
Because I want to tell our story.
Why?
Because I know the story builds a legacy.
Builds a legacy. And that is exactly what we do here at ETS Rubasha Media. We market your story on social media so you could build a legacy for those who come after you, to build your business and your personal brand.
Yeah, follow us on our platform. Go on our website, etsrubashamedia.com.
This is about legacy, and it is about showing up on social media every single day, because if you don't show up, your competition will. So how come we were manipulated? But there's other people who've also been manipulated outside of Africans.
Yes, they are. So it's more mentally, it's more power. It's sometimes, but most African we confuse taking name with maybe to be civilized. That will mean you think when you have a white name, you are more civilized than the one who have African names. That is where we went wrong. So that is why what we want to do here in this is to go back in our roots, to take back the identity we want. So we don't need to continue to have the identity from outside.
You know, I was also thinking about, like, even some people close to me, right? Like, I'd maybe even want them to have their African name. Like, it feels good. But then it's like they don't want to be called by the African name. They want to have their white name. But then I was like, at the end of the day, isn't that how that's how colonization works? That's how you know it's working. You know it's working when someone has an African name but does not want to be called by the African name, and every time you introduce them to someone, they will give their white name.
Yes.
Does that mean that colonization, that's working? That's what's supposed to happen?
Yes, it's not even more on top of colonization also, it's more marketing. So now, the European has marketed themselves as high class. So now, world people, they don't want to take African names because they want to live in that level for high class. Now, young people, sometimes they think to be well, to be civilized, is to have the white names, because it's what they saw everywhere. They saw in the magazine, they saw in the movie, they saw everything. So that is another thing. White was a bit clever than to us. He knows how to market everything, his culture. So he doesn't call it culture because he marketed it. So as we call it culture, that's why we keep fighting. But it's hard to fight with the media, the marketing. Marketing is so powerful. Marketing, you keep on social media, everything there. They show, oh, this is the name for Africa. This is the name for nice baby. This is the name, look, the name baby want to have. So the people who market the names, they market white names. Even now, Africans, they rather market white names for babies instead to look African names to market. So that's why we want to come back where always I keep saying. So our African education, so far, it doesn't work direct for us. So it's still working for the colonizer. So when you Google, you go to find many young women, young girls, they look babies' names with white names is what they see, because when they Google, they can't see an African names there.
So how comes the white people don't give their children like an African name? Or
because they're not in the market. Yes, we don't market anything. We rejected ours, so that is why.
So we rejected ours. What makes someone want to even take it?
So that education has made us to reject our culture, to reject our roots. So that's my program now. Come in is to bring back that.
So what about if you have like a child or a spouse, and they've obviously, you know, we've been growing up with these former names. Like for me, I don't know. For me personally, as soon as I found out, like as soon as it came to the realization, like, wait a minute, my name is a white name. No matter if I've lived with this name my whole life, as soon as I found that out, I was like, no, like I cut that name from me straight away. I was like, it didn't make sense for me. Why should I keep this name that just because I've had it my whole life? No, like it doesn't make sense. And I removed it straight away. It was a no-brainer. But for other people, even though now you bring this conversation, it's like, oh, well, let me go back to having my white name. How do you, if it's someone that you love, how do you, isn't it weird to call someone by their...
You can't force somebody. So you can't force somebody, because also you remember the name also, we have been touching with one thing's common, which is called Christianity. So some African, because they have been embedded, brainwashed about Christianity. So now when they connect the name they have with God, with Christianity, so also that's powerful. So that is what it is. So they connected with their religious, with their name. So any person who doesn't want to change his white name or Islam name is because he's connected with his belief, their belief. See, those are the two key. We lost half our culture, our spirituality belief, lost completely. We take Islam and Christian than anyone else. We were military, we were fighter for those religions, because they market it to us, they bring to us, they say this is the life, this is only way. They told you only way to go to heaven is to go through Jesus. Who's Jesus? It's a white person. So it's mean everything's there. And a Muslim, they say, are you going to die? You go to die for Muhammad, because that is what they have been putting in our children's mind. You remember they started as when you were children. So now, when I told you this, it's what called, now we start marketing. So you don't force people. Market doesn't force anyone. Market keeps saying it, it keeps showing it, it keeps showing it, it keeps showing it, it keeps showing. And then they say, oh, that's what it is. So now this is our game we go to start now. We're not going to complain what happened in the history. Now we know where we're standing now. African must reclaim their identity. Let's restart now. Let's restart mobilizing now. Let's restart this movement now. Let's start telling young kids who are grown up, who are working, who have been having issues, who are having identity crisis everywhere around the street. We keep telling them. That is your job. You don't need to force them to change their name. You should tell them this is the history. This is how we get this white name. This is why we get Arab's name. This is not our name. They don't know because they've been generation to generation. And their parents don't tell them because their parents, even they are worse. And that is what marketings mean. That is what
marketing be. It is marketing. Because even like I was seeing some stuff on YouTube, those say the only way is through Jesus. Jesus saved me. Jesus. And now as I get older, I'm like, why do you guys keep talking like
how does Jesus save you?
And another man. There's an obsession. You keep talking about another man, another human being, the same as Muhammad, Jesus, Muhammad. I'm like, you guys keep talking about another man. Oh, you got to go through another man. It's Jesus. Like, do people not realize? Like, you guys keep talking about.
Yes, but you don't learn. You have to learn now to do it because you remember also you were like them.
Yeah.
So you have to learn. So now that's why you see why in Australia white people rejected the churches. Because they know there's nothing connected with it. See? Look how life here in Australia is based. Life is not based on Christianity. Life is based on their own way. Only Islam is the one which is keep stronger to their religions. So the reason also is because the way they structured. So Muhammad, it's the beliefs he put in people, in his follow. The beliefs which is simple. So that is why he has most people there because the belief of Muhammad is simple. You don't need to have toilet paper. You don't need to have a fork to have life. You can wash your hands. Everything is simple. Nothing commercialized from Muhammad. When somebody passed away, a Muslim, the cost of burial of Muslim, it doesn't matter how successful he is. The cost doesn't go like $2,000 Australian dollars. But a Christian, the coffin could go more than 20,000 Australian dollars. Muhammad, he has belief of economical, and that is why it becomes stronger and powerful. It's simple that way. So when you compare Christianity, it's more commercialized. A white person, he doesn't care anything about Jesus, anything about things. Everything's more commercialized. Money. Everything's the money. Everything's the something. And that is why you can see. In Africa, do you have a sacred place? No.
Nature.
But do you have people who come every year to visit? No. People go to Mecca. People go to Rome because they know how to market. India, they have always their temples everywhere they go. Millions and millions there to market. So that is where we want to come back to say, is it what as you are believing in African? Is it the right way? Is it our own way? So that's why we have to go back. African, we must reclaim our identity. So our identity is a part of what we believe, what name, what our history, what we live in it there, those are the name we need to change for generation to come.
So in the WhatsApp group, she said, I prefer to have my white name. It's not that, I don't like my African name, but I just like my white name. Or then people say to me, but you don't speak Swahili. You're not speaking your African language. But I keep saying to people, but language, you can speak multiple languages. An Arab person speaks English, but he doesn't have an English name. He can come here, he can speak English. So I understand to be able to speak your language is a pivotal part into your roots. It is an important part, to be able to speak your language. It's important. But at the end of the day, when I come and I say what my name is, without even me speaking.
But you remember, before you speak, you've been named first. You see? So the reason now, even your family is starting telling you different language, instead to teach you our natural language, we make a mistake naming first a long name. See? So if we have been starting identity to our children good names, it be not coming even to forget the languages. See? So, and then again, there's two things. You have to know. Language is extra knowledge. You learn a language, but you don't need to learn to have your identity. So your identity is the base for who you are. So when you grow up, you are born, you are black. You don't choose the color of your skin. That is why when everybody were born, everybody culture, God has put their identity there to name their children. Until the spiritual power came to Africa, that you change. If they could be good, they could say, okay, keep your name. We colonize you, but you keep your name. But they interfered also in identity. It's the same even Arabs. They could say, okay, you keep your name. Take our belief, but keep your name. That is respect. So now, they didn't even respect us. They never respect what our ancestors have been doing. Because they found us there. They found people there. And they changed it. That is the spirituality. And this spirituality still continues now. Up to now.
Because they would never have an African name.
No.
Never, ever, ever.
Yes, they never. Because that is the spirituality mean. Why they can have African name? Because they are not identified in that name.
But then people say, oh, but I'd rather keep my religion than my
Yes,
name.
so because they don't know who they are. Yes. So our identity was invaded for a long time, for generation to generation. So they can't remember. So Esther is my great-mother name. But you remember, it was changed by a colonizer. This is the key to talk about it. So the one who said that, you have to believe them until we teach them, until we educate them. You remember, education for us Africans, he hasn't worked for us yet. He worked for colonial mind. So that's why the history we know, the most history we speak is white history. Even the history was written in the book, it's white person who wrote it to us. So that is why we still keep struggling. That is why this movement had to start with creating this movement. And that's why you can see even African leadership, it's hard to govern the country because there's a master always. There's somebody who keep coming to your lifestyle, who told you what to do, not to do. So that is another issue there. For the leadership in Africa there, it's a weakness.
Africans, it's time we reclaim our identity and take back our names. And even like I'm seeing on social media, the reason it's going viral is because, you know, I've been even getting messages. So I saw a Rwandese person messaged me today and said, they said, you're a very smart man. Like just a random person. I think they even had an African name, said, you're very smart. The people are seeing, I said, we go live, people are seeing this because they're seeing this is true. The comment, it's like you can't deny it, you can't take it away. Like the comments are just going and
then especially when we live in this diaspora land, the other places away from home, also that is where you see it, that's where you face it, that is where you grow. Because always people say, oh, you wear a suit, you wear a tie, you wear a thing that, oh, why do you live in the Western
Why are you speaking English?
Yes, so you see, we try to do a counterattack. We know the rule, we feel bad. But now, when you feel bad, instead to say, okay, maybe partially they said the truth, but they try to counterattack. This tie, the white people did made it. They take it away from Indians and the Arabs. See? The material was created before the white came because they found it in India, they found it in Arab. See? Even though they take it, it's not theirs.
Even with Christianity, like even if you look at the religion, they could not even started it. Maybe Christianity was created in those countries, but the whites came in and saw it and they took it with their own hands. Look at the Bible verse. That's why King James Version, Luke James Version, King James Version. It says King James Version. It's a Luke James. There was a guy named King. He said, yes, this is my version of the Bible.
It was the king. He went, he saw it from that Latin and Greek. He take it in marketing. In marketing. That way, you can't see a Latin Bible or a Greek Bible. No, those languages disappeared.
They put it in their version.
They put their version. They put it in English and they market it and they print it everywhere. I wonder who printed those books. It's the most printed book in the world. I like Bible. It's good. What I don't like is somebody else keep translating you in lies. So the translation is the problem.
And then what did they do? They put an image of a white Jesus. They're so smart. They know the marketing is life. So they've been marketing their whole lives.
Bible is a parable. Always has two meanings. So Bible, it teaches there's a master and there's a slave. So now when they translate, because they had that knowledge, so they think they're the master. So now, as you were slave.
So he was thinking, the white man said, even though they make the story of Jesus, the white man was basically saying, I'm Jesus.
Yes, he's the master. So that's why before you go to heaven, you have to go through him. But you think that is a place you're walking to go to heaven. People think heaven is a place where you go to sit down somewhere in the garden.
Oh, it's so true. Yes, to get to heaven, you got to go through Jesus. But Jesus is the white man.
Yes, that is why when you go to have AIDS, which charity companies? East African charity companies internationally? No. All big charity, they are white. They created it. See now, why do we came to this country? Because they say, oh, you are saved, you are poor, you come to our place, something. So that is the translation. That is the physical translation. But Bible is translated mentally, not physical.
They were not physical. It's not a... People keep... I saw on Instagram the comments. I'm like, these people didn't exist in... Like, these Jesus guys...
Like I told you, Jesus and Muhammad, it's the belief. Yes, it's the belief they have. So no one has seen them so far. No one has anything to do with them. Whatever you feel, it's what you believe. Until you change your belief. Because that belief is powerful. So that's why always I say a lies can become truth in any time. Mm-hmm. And the truth can become a lies any time because it's you who have to succeed. That is why this is so powerful. This has had to be individual decision, individual thinking, individual goals, individual action. See, when I hear that from Never God and I hear that straight away, I didn't hear from anyone. I didn't ask anyone. My mind told me, change your name. Because what I went through, and I take decision as individual. And that is why I don't need to ask my wife. I don't need to ask my children. I don't need to ask my brothers. I don't ask anyone there. No, it's individual. Because you are God. You become you. You become unique. So that is why Bible say a child he'll leave his mother and his father. That is what you have. Only things now have been achieved since I'm teaching this is to tell you that, and you resign you straight away.
Straight away.
So that is what I came to do here. I can still teach people. I can tell people African must reclaim our identity. But who did I tell first? Myself. And I went and I changed physically, officially. I changed it. Who did I go next? To my sons. And they agree with me.
Straight away.
I already done what I was supposed to do. So now, other one we keep spreading this message.
And it's going to be a part of history. Like, I'm even thinking about how we first started on this journey when we went into the suits at that place that we still even have. We can even drop that video and put it on YouTube. Like, this is going to be history. And then what I'm seeing now is that message you gave me, now through me, it's going to the young generation now.
Yeah.
So this stuff that I'm seeing on social media, and this was, you were always telling me, and you were telling me, and you know, I saw the importance of it, but because then I took it, and now it's gone viral, even us, to both of us, we did that video together. So now also the young generation, you know, so wow.
So the reason now it come to you now you're passionate about it, because you could see there's people who already touched. There are people who tell you, wow.
I can't go a day without posting this.
You see, that itself, it gives you the power. It gives you say, wow. See, you touch the people. You are young, but the people you are touching about this African claim identity is so powerful. So you can't see it now, but you will see them. Those people, they will give you a message. Listen to Jila, he told me, and now I did it. Because the message you sent to them, even the one who doesn't agree with us, it keep coming to them, especially when they're African.
And then they'll start to go and see it. They go in their line.
Yes.
When they go,
and then when you go other people ask them, why do you have Africa a white name anyway? You are not white. You see? Straight away they're thinking that's what Sujita was saying.
They'll go to the mosque with the other Arabs, and just those small signs they'll start to see. The fact that you hear this message, it can't leave your mind. You will try to forget about it.
Yes, but
it's
you
good.
can't.
Now when you see other Arab people and you see they all have their names, and then you walk to them and then you say your name and you're African, slowly by slowly they'll see, because a lot of Africans have already felt superiority and gave inferiority to, for example, Arabs who are Muslims. They've already felt it.
That is nature. And then also because now the competition in the society, that is how it is. So white, they put themselves there. That's why they keep the war everywhere. They go to kill anyone. They've been killing people since they started. People, they see this war in Iraq, they think it's new. No, it's not new. They came to this country, they go there, they came to Africa. So a lot of things we see, it's generation to generation. It's in their DNA to take people lands, to take other people assets, to take what people think. But when they show themselves, they don't show they are hungry with money. No. They show, oh, we don't need money. But they will go to kill for the money. They go to erase the whole community to have the wealth. That is how they have that wealth. They kill, steal. They put the rules and law to steal you, to kill, so they don't feel guilty because the Bible has told them. See, that's the law they say. So now they feel here. Now, Arabs also, they feel, oh, we should be better than the black people. Chinese also, they came. So now, you see, the war is there now. Chinese and the Americans, white. That's how it works. Arabs now, they're there. Now they're killing them now. They want to make sure they're going to be third ones. So, as we're in the peace, because we don't say anything. Africa is peaceful now from the white aggression because we say yes, yes, yes.
So you're saying if we were
the
like
minute
that,
you say no, they sanction you, bomb you, they take whatever they do think there. That's why we're in peace. That's why always I say, do we choose to be followers to have a peace, or do we still withstand our belief going to be killed?
But that's a good question. What do you do in that situation? Because the whites, they'll come and just destroy you.
That's what happened in Iran. Iran, they say, we don't care, we will die. But why do you want to be die? Do you want to have peace, or do you want to die?
But then it's I understand that, because sometimes it's like we want pride. We have pride into who we are.
It's in mind what you tell them.
So they have pride, but
yes, their mind is so powerful. Say, okay, yes, we die. They instead to take it, yes, we die. And that is why Americans or white, it keep killing them, because they know they are very strong in their mind. They are powerful.
So they also want to kill the children, so that the children don't grow up to avenge.
Yes. So you remember, everybody is a child. So white people, when they kill children, don't think it's a mistake. They know. They know, because those children, they have been raised from those people. They're growing. So everybody is a child. So everybody is a child. To become a military, to become a cleric, a pastor, business person, everything there, you become a child. So now, when those children, girls, boys, they grow up from the people who fight, who do you think they're going to become? Fighter. Because nothing else they know. See? Those guys in Paris, there's nothing else they do. The kids, there's nothing else they see. They've been bombed every single day. They've been running every single day. So now, that is why they do. Because if you don't kill them, they go to grow up with that anger, and they go to revenge. Yeah. So a white person, when he starts a war, it kills children first, because he knows the children they go to grow with that one, because that thing. They don't do those things by mistake.
Because I saw those things, they bombed the school, they're from Israel.
They do they know. They don't go to do a mistake thing there. And that's why media, it keeps saying things, but do you see they care? No. They go to do that, and then they go to another one, and then they say, oh, it's by mistake.
And then everyone forgets about it.
Yeah.
Next one.
Yeah, the next one. Then the next one comes again. Then they say, oh, it's a mistake. And that's how it is. And that's the power of superiority. It is so sad, because everything's there for people. Even if you're poor, you go to have a life anyway. You go to live. This is the land of God, you go to live. If you're a human being, you go to live on the land. Be wealthy, you could be not wealthy, but you live until your time is goes. See, if poor people have been dying, they've been finished on this earth. But they don't die. Everybody died on his own because nature is God. God, life goes the time he wants. It doesn't matter. Luxury has been created by man, but life is created by God. Life is nature. And that's why you see when they fight big superiority, you still fight. Because a war is a mind. A war is not only the gun. A war is in the mind. And American, they know. They fight in Afghanistan 20 years. With guns, they market, did everything there. So now they try to bring the community to come together, to be democratized, to be every single thing. For 20 years, Taliban went there. They didn't ever stop fighting. Why? Because the war is the mind. They want them to end. They fight. Then America said, no, we can't stay here anymore. They just retreat themselves with all those guns, with all those big airplanes, with all those nuclear power. Nuclear power means nothing. See, because nuclear power, what it does, kills people, but it doesn't give you any other power. And that's how they lost Taliban.
So they went to Afghanistan to fight them, to kill them. Why?
They win because they want to conquer the Afghanistan.
Why?
They did. It's not why. There's no reason. They're powerful.
And so who's Taliban?
So Taliban, they are fighting for Afghanistan. So there are religious Afghanistan which they are fighting Islamic State. So those they believe their own laws. So you have to Google them.
So are they more defending themselves against the people coming to attack them? Like, for example, I saw Donald Trump's interview the other day. I was just laughing. He said they were going to attack us, so we're attacking them before they attack us. For example, he was giving example on Iran.
Yes, so they know how to market it. They know how to say whatever they... It's a war. The war, you say everything you feel your side. No one knows. If somebody has an attack, how do you know to go to attack? But maybe it was true. But maybe it wasn't.
So with Afghanistan, they go in there to go in and
they stayed there for 20 years.
20 years, yeah. Just to overtake the nation.
Yeah, they did. 20 years.
And so they stayed in Afghanistan just
for 20 years, yes.
Controlling the country.
Yes.
Why did they go back?
Because the Taliban was keep fighting them.
They kept fighting them. Didn't give up.
They didn't give up.
Wow.
They didn't give up until America, they said, okay, no, this is not a place. Because also they were not going to stay there for longer. See, they were trying to defend the other government which was supporting them. But the people, the mind,
you can't.
The war is a mind. The war is not only gun.
You can't come to our place and just take us over.
But they did 20 years.
Yeah. So I'm saying that they're saying you can't just. We're gonna fight back.
Yes.
You can't just come in our home and just the Islamic State. Let's go and fight and kick them out.
It was in news. You had to Google it. Those kind of things when we listen that you read them down. You go Google them and you see how they left.
Was it Obama who pulled them out? Huh?
No, I can't remember who did it. Maybe it was Donald Trump or somebody there. But that's how life is. But what we need to do, especially, that's why you see how life they live. They live through their mind, through their belief. That is how they win. You win the war the way you carry yourself, the way you carry your belief. So they don't want to go invade other people. They want to live in their own land with their belief, the way they've been given that land to God. So that is why America always want to interfere other people's land. So that is the conflict. So normally God has, wherever they have been taken, they keep want to go everywhere. That is why in Africa we don't have peace. They keep want to have what we do, what we think, what we believe, what we do, how we enjoy it, how we create the names. So that is the problem. How we govern, they have to say, oh, you have to have a democratic government, you have to elect people. So they have to keep telling us what to do. They will never give us people's freedom to do whatever they do. And they build a peace around the world. Because they think what you are doing, it's evil. But when you realize they have been doing evil more than anyone else in this world. But they are saying that this we're doing it. Look at the government, what you're doing. See, we've been struggling to do whatever you go to do in Africa. So we're struggling. How come China become so powerful? So now the problem now they have, they never conquer China. Now China, they keep asking how the world is going to be when China is a superpower. It's going to be better. China is a superpower now. But they keep saying, oh, they are superpower. They know they are lying. They already lost their superiority. Economically, they have lost their superiority. And militarily, that's what they show you. We are still strong, we can attack you, we can bomb you. But the war doesn't give you anything. The war is destruction. There's nothing else coming from the war. Because even if you beat Iran now, you do think you're not going to stay there for another 5 years, 10 years. They go to kick you out. And they know the end of the road, they will know. They want to control it. They want to do thinking. So there's something had to change in the mind. So as we try to come back through our mind, through our belief, through our identity, we're not going to fight a war. We don't have anything there, or financially. See, Africa, what they do, just they sanction about you. If they sanction you, Zimbabwe, they want to take their land from white people, especially British. White people, they take huge land.
In Zimbabwe.
In Zimbabwe. The president said, no, we need our land back. What they did, they say, we'll show you. They sanctioned him every single thing until the economy collapsed. They survived too, maybe 20 years. But they make sure the whole economy was gone. Why? Because somebody said, okay, give us our land. Let's get compensation from the land. But the white people, they said, no, we got to punish you.
Punish you for what you already own.
So that is why this Arab country, I don't know how, it's meant.
The Arabs have pride. They just have pride. And that's why they couldn't. That's why the only way you see Islam is because they had to create their own one. They said, these guys came to colonize and they had to, if there was a man named Muhammad, he was like, we have to create our own one. Because there's no Arab person who's going to submit to another man. He's not going to let another man come and name his children.
Yes, because that's what they've been taught. To teach them, they keep their belief. So that is why they're stronger. Indian, they keep their belief. Indian, they don't fight India. Don't fight anyone. They keep their belief. They have their own way. Chinese also, they have their own way. They have their own belief. There are some few people being converted who can change. All those things happen. People change because of financial problem or, your personal life, you change, or let me be Christian. But even if you be like that, when the people see you, you wonder, what happened? See, when you see Chinese have a white name, you always, there's that question straight away come. But when you are black, that question, or African, that question doesn't come. You think that's okay. But no, it's not okay. Even you are showing the program, Patrick David. So, oh, you're from Iran. You should be called whatever. See?
Mm. And it's because they speak to him on the phone, so they didn't see. So then when they come physically, Patrick, then they see the face. They're like, wait a minute, like,
you see,
I thought you were Irish or Jewish. You see in that video.
And that's why they changed, man. When I changed my name, I told people Ndiezeye, all my clients say, wow, they love. And that's why we need to learn to shorten our name for communication. Buying coffee, you see, my name is Ndiezeye. I could say, okay, Ndiezeye, maybe DJ. See, you are shortened my name.
Yeah.
But you don't give me your name.
I'll be working sometimes, and then sometimes I get the Indian names so long. And even me, because I'll say like, because it's a really long name, I'll say like, Raj Penda, I'll be like Raj. But they get it, like, or Nip.
Yes, because you have shortened their name.
But it's still their name.
It is why you can see it. That's why the pride we could be. This is the pride we are building here. This now, the African must reclaim our identity. It's not because you are against your Christianity. It's not about against your religious, your Islam. No, we want to take our identity. We want to take our name. And believe, you can still believe whatever you feel, to believe what to believe. Like now, we're going to go to heaven like anyone else. No need to go through Jesus, because Jesus is in our mind. And there's no other way until we reach there. See? Then we live in this earth nicely, to love one another, to give everybody's peace of mind, to let everybody say this, my name, this, what it is there. We are here to tell people, let's claim our African identity.
Guys, that's it. We're going to see you guys on the other side. Africans, claim your identity. Thanks, Dad. Hey, what's wrong? Bro, I'm stressed out. I'm running my business. I've got to serve my customers, but I need more customers coming in. I can't keep relying on word of mouth. Why don't you just use ETS Rubasha Media? Who? Well, with AI now, what they do is they go in, get your perfect clients, bring them in front of you. So all I got to do is run my business and he brings me opportunities. Think about it. You speak to 3,000 of your ideal customers, convert 1% of that 3,000. That's 30 people. 30 people in a room with you. Can you convert that? Of course I'll close them. I'm good at what I do. I just don't have time to be going and looking for my perfect client. Focus on what you love doing and let them bring you customers. When you win, they win, commission, ching.
Ndiezeye Rubasha, huh?
Yeah, Ndiezeye Rubasha. Go and Google them, man. Come on, take it to the bank. If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're gonna love that one.